Alright, as you guys can see, no preview thing this week. We're going right into the gameplay because we have a pretty long game here. Big announcements, Gears of War beta April 18th, day before my birthday. Looking forward to playing it. This week we'll be doing an episode primarily putting out hosts. So you're going to be seeing, this is actually a tournament match. I was able to get some VOD thanks to Lennox over at MLG. So this is MLG Dallas 2009 was the event that we won. And this was the loser bracket finals against LTZ, so we're going to be following Wildebeest's point of view for less than 0. Map score was 5-4. If they won this map, they would have won, and we managed to take them on their host to go to River and then win it on our host. So it's a pretty big map. Whole tournament was on the line for us, and I think we played it real well, so I wanted to give a good example of how to put out host in a game of Gears of War, which anyone who's played the game knows that that's probably the biggest thing in any kind of match. Put out host. And Gears of War 1, 5 of the 6 maps are basically automatic wins for the host team. And Gears 2, it was highly likely the host team would win, but not nearly as bad as Gears 1 was. Primarily because of what you just saw. Smoke grenades really helped to mitigate host. As you can see, Wildebeest just sitting up top putting in support fire, and we got him with a stun and made our push during that 3 or 4 second window that we had where he was stunned. And that's really what it boils down to, really. Is if you can get the stuns off, that's one way to put out host. And I'm gonna go over other ways because obviously you can't do that anymore. And I'm curious to see how it is gonna be with Gears 3 because stopping power plus host just has such an effect, especially when you get a full active reload Lancer. So it'll be real interesting to see how it goes. And as you can see, we just use the torque to take out host that round, which is another be a recurring theme throughout this video. Is power weapons are a great way to put out the host. Primarily torque bow and boom shot. Sniper, you can kind of get it every now and then, but it's not consistent. So we're skipping right to round 3 because Arctic rolled into the lasers in the second round. It wasn't very entertaining. This gameplay was actually 19 minutes, and I cut it down to 10 minutes for you guys. So I hope you're appreciative of all the editing that went into this, as my computer was sucking. And here, you can see Wildebeest is trying to push right across, and I went over this last week with our strat on this map. We do lots of pushes at bottom all the way across. So Wildebeest is probably looking to go flank, but we had someone back there trying to smoke him. So we got a free torque bow, and then this will be our push with the torque bow. And I missed a shot there, which is pretty poor of me, but I redeemed myself with a nice turnaround shot on him. And the biggest thing there is that no matter what, during that push, we're going to get 1 torque shot on him. So we got 1 chance to hit him at least, maybe 2. So anytime you make a push like that, you want to use the torque bow in that manner. So in this case we used a smoke. You don't really need to use a smoke, and in one of the clips later on you'll see that we don't always use a smoke, but you rev the torque bow, then just walk at the host. And then you just challenge him to pop out and shoot you, and if you've practiced enough, and if you're good enough with the torque bow, you'll hit that shot more often than not. And the other times you'll see what he did was just try to dodge and hope that I miss. So you end up basically getting a free shot, sometimes 2, and that can win rounds, getting the host out like that. And we always make sure we push towards the host whenever we do a torque bow push like that. And I was our torque bow player, so I'm always looking for the host whenever I have my torque bow revved. And I don't care if he sits there and cover the whole time. If he's sitting there and cover and my team gets to push, that's an advantage for us because that's neutralizing the host, which is what it's all about. You either put him out or you neutralize him. And knowing where the host plays and what he's doing and what his objective is, like Wildebeest on this map is just trying to sit up there and Lancer. And that's the reason you need to neutralize him, because host Lancer is ridiculous. Wildebeest had probably the best host Lancer on the circuit at this time, and probably throughout the history of Gears 2 on the MLG circuit. So in that case, we didn't get a smoke up there early, and he punished us by downing us before we could even get to our spots. So we're down a man, and they're going to get torque bow right here. And essentially the round's over. If we win this round, we are really lucky, because we shouldn't win against host and torque bow. That's basically like playing 5v3 or 6v3. So, but of course I included the rest of the round because we do end up getting a fortunate outcome, as you'll see. So Wildebeest making a push up here, and he's going to miss a bunch of pistol shots, and it's going to affect the round because Callie's going to be able to get it down on him. Another way, like really, I think that this is just poor play on his part. He should have had his Lancer out. Just given that that's his strength and he's host, so he needs to be forcing us to move out of there with his Lancer versus trying to walk up the meat shield pistol here. And Callie's going to make him pay for it with some hard aims. And this whole time, Callie's just holding down the left trigger, getting active reloads. And that's what lets him get that down. Wildy was real dumb to go the same way that he had just gone and gotten torn up, so it didn't make any sense. So yeah, now we're 2v3. They still have torque bow. And it's time for some heroics on Orange's part. As Callie's gonna get taken out, he's gonna have a 1v3. And a lot of people would have waited for the ink there, but that would have meant for sure we lose the round. Where pushing out gives him a little bit of a chance to come through. And I don't know what the guy with the pistol was doing, but he really just hurt his team by not knowing where Orange was. So now he's in a 1v2, and he's trying to burn the clock. Ideally, he would just keep on running for the 40 seconds, but they're too close, and we called it out for him. So he knows he has to fight, because he's not going to get away. And now you're just looking for a one-shot. You can't melee, you can't sit there and hard aim, you just have to hope for a one-shot and then run. Which he's able to get away, and he gets the draw for the round. And some people would have pushed the 1v1 there to try and be a hero, but it's not the right thing to do for your team, so we all know that. If he had gone for it, we would have yelled at him, even though he just won a 1v3. But the best thing to do is take the draw in that scenario, because we're already up on rounds. If we were down on rounds and we're against host, then by all means he could have taken the 1v1, but in this case it made a lot more sense just to take the draw. You can see Wildy just going right back to what he was trying to do the other rounds, just sitting up here Lancering. Which, with smokes, it's really, really easy to neutralize this position, which is why our team never had host go up here. Because, I mean, every single time you can get that smoke off on him, and then he's out of play for the time that it takes for us to get the torque and run back. And in this case, we actually had everyone push across during that time, so I grabbed torque, and my objective down there at bottom is to look up at host on the balcony. Because you can actually get headshots on people when they're shooting from the balcony. And here I think it's 3v4 and they're making a push just to try and get out of this room. Because they know that eventually we're just going to ink it up. So here you can see once again how to push the torque bow. As you're going to hear me rev up and just start walking. They can't stand and shoot at me or else they get stuck because they know that I'm not going to miss that shot. And they're just waiting for patience, having lots of patience there and getting the shot on them. Which again, if I miss, then that's just one torque shot used, and we get map control. So even if you miss the shot, your team gets control for the next shot, which is right here, as I pushed up the button. And you always want to lead with your torque bow guy. He always has to have his torque bow revved. If you aren't going to get the shot, you shoot at the ground right in front of you so the guy can't sit there on the wall and shoot at you. So your whole goal is to keep pushing them, and pushing them, and pushing them, and pushing them with the torque bow. And forcing them to make the moves. So torque bow in general is just a really powerful weapon because you get that map control. And that's why on just about every map we would push for torque bow like the rounds depended on it. And we won a lot of rounds because we were able to get torque bow. And now they're down in 3-1 I think it is now. And we decided to start playing real passive because it seemed like they were going to be savage to our rushes. But this last time I went for torque bow I got stunned immediately. So what you're going to see is that even though he's sitting up here, we know that's how they're going to play, so we positioned ourselves so that he doesn't have any angles. So this whole time that he's up here, he's not going to be able to shoot at us. And then we're playing basically a 3v3 with non-host, because we have Arctic at the top of the hallway just watching to make sure wildebeest can't push across. And a lot of times teams will have two people up here, one to cover him and one for host to Lancer. So if that was the case, then we'd have a 3v2 down though. I can't remember exactly how they played this, but that would happen a lot of the time. But just in general, the goal is to take the fight to snipe side and add lasers, because there's the wall there protecting you if you fight from lasers. And we're just trying to work angles. And unfortunately, we gave up positioning on the snipe, but we have one or two guys covering us so that he can't grab it without getting down. And here's 30 seconds later, since it was really just lots of lancering. Here we'll make our push as they make theirs. So you see the guy on lasers, he's fighting two guys on the other side. And he really had no shot, and Hosted wasn't able to help him that entire time because he had no angle on us. And then Arctic had the right idea to go push up, try and flank Host, but Host was already coming right at him. Now, as you can see, Wildy had to come all the way to our side to be able to get Lancer's angles on us on lasers. And all we have to do is just hop over and go to snipe and grab the sniper. So we've essentially locked the whole map down. They can't grab Torpo because they're afraid of getting sniped. And now we have superior map control and the sniper, so all we have to do is just keep working the angles. And as you see a minute ago, Wildy is forced to push on us because we were just sitting back. We were happy to take the draw at this point because the way MLG settings work, a draw would have been basically a win for us. We would have had one more draw to win. But again, they're the host team. They should be the aggressors anyways. You don't really want to push into host unless you have a Torpo or smokes, in my opinion. So it's going to be interesting to see how Gears 3 plays out when you don't have smokes and you have to have a Torpo or a boom shot to be able to push host. If Epic even cares about it now that they have dedicated servers for pubs. I don't know if they'll even care that host is ridiculous in privates. So we'll see how it goes. That was episode 5. Hope you guys learned some stuff about how to take out hosts. Maybe learn a little bit about how to 1v3. It's kind of self-explanatory though. So next week, maybe do public execution. I don't know. I might look through and see if I can get any VODs of some of the better 1v4s and 1v3s that other teams had, because we didn't really have that many, to be honest. So I might see if I can get some of those VODs and maybe do an episode on that either next week or the week after. Anyways, Gears Beta, April 18th. Pretty pumped. See you guys next week.